Hi there! If you're new to my sessions, these are the key takeaways you can expect. I'll cover both the weekly and daily time frame Wyckoff stages for SCRT, and then also the key price levels that it will find support or resistance, and eventually any breakout timing that the charts are indicating to us. So let's start with the weekly chart of SCRT. What we're seeing here is that after the breakout at the last week of September, the price got rejected from the orange key level of 24 cents, and recently, in the past 3 weeks, including this week that just started, it seems finding support at around the red key level of 16 cents. So that's a quick summary of what recently happened. But then when we get to the daily chart, we'll see something in more detail. As of now, this remains same for the Wyckoff. A spring can still happen. You can consider that a spring because it went lower than the selling climax, but you see last time during summer into autumn of 2024, this drop near the end of the accumulation before the distribution cycle happens went way deeper than the selling climax. So from the candle close to this red key level, that's around 15% drop. Okay, so if this time where the selling climax was actually the red key level, for 15% drop, it was somewhere like the mid-June dip. So that may be the spring, but still be really careful and other checkout would happen before the actual distribution cycle comes back. But we hope to see the price to come up to test the orange key level of 24 cents instead of like going back down. And before getting into the daily chart, we are seeing the Bollinger Band curve squeeze right there. The shades appears when the purple lines get within the orange, and that means the squeeze is going on. If you're new to this indicator, it means that subsequently there will be bigger price swings. So here, the squeeze, even though without the shades at the back, I would consider that a squeeze already, because one purple line is inside the orange, the other is close enough. And very quickly that squeeze led to that big swing. And just to be careful, a squeeze doesn't mean that the price will always swing up first. It can swing towards the downside first before it swing up. So just to be clear. And let's get to the daily time frame now. There's no squeeze happening. However, you see the purple lines are getting quickly together towards the orange. So if the next few days the price continues to trade narrow range, a squeeze will happen, and eventually we'll see bigger swings like this one in like early this month, or like started end of September, and also here during July. That's when we've got those swings of the squeeze. So back to Wyckoff in the daily. This test previously was at 25%. It happened. Not that it can't happen a second time, so I'm going to duplicate this just to confirm this has happened. And obviously we already said we're waiting for another sign of strength or the backup and last point of support period, the platform trading period, before the price shoots up to the distribution. Alright, so still chance for either side, but the tendency or the preference goes towards the sign of strength. Not that it immediately goes towards the distribution, but at least come to challenge the 0.24. That's the wishful thinking, because last time when, like after the sign of strength happened, it took quite a while for this peak to appear, and it did not even get close to the orange. So hopefully this time, eventually it will. But then you can see it's pretty much a horizontal trading range that started since February this year for Secret. So it's not a surprise if the price continues to do something similar. Alright, and in terms of time point, since the price has broken outside of this triangle already on this particular date, October 1st, it's time to check if there are any other lines. So these two yellow lines are not like relevant a lot anymore, even though it shows like it's being the support, at least in this run. So what I'm going to do is I'm picking this line, I'm trying to readjust it, line it up across the tests, because we seem to have a higher low situation. Not that it's going way higher than the previous, but still is an uptrend. So that's a good sign. As the price isn't trading within this narrow range, so we don't have to really look at this point around mid-January to consider a breakout timing, because that's not the price just not trading within this triangle. Unless next time when we come back it's really trading within this narrow range, then we can reconsider that January mid-January time frame. So let's quickly check whether this is actually one right there. So if I line up the peaks towards the red line, it's pointing towards November 14th, right? So meaning if the price continues to trade under this dashed line and above the red for the next week or two, then eventually a breakout opportunity will arrive. If it comes down, we already said it's not a surprise, because we are expecting there's a possibility of another test. Just that the key over here is whether it finds support around this level. That's around 15 cents, according to how it happens. If it happens really near the tip of the triangle. If it happens sooner, it can go a little bit lower, but still not too far from the 15 cents mark. That's the downward scenario. What if it goes up? If it breaks towards the upside, that's actually something that we hope for towards the orange key level as well as the sign of strength. And that means in 2 weeks time or 18 days time, sometime from now to then, this will be very key, because either it's going to push the price back to this and bounces again just to challenge this level the second time after like the beginning of the month challenge, but close below. And if not, I'm just checking with these previous lines, because right over here it looks to me what happened yesterday was a breakout from this little wedge. It broke out and above the red key level. So in a pros breakout situation we have now, it's time to head towards the second test. The second breakout test, not the second test of Wyckoff. So I think that's the picture of Secret. And yeah, under the current sentiment, the biggest hope when the tariff discussions got settled and all the chaos about the wars and stuff got settled, that's when the price got a chance to show us a sign of strength and maybe heading towards the new distribution cycle as well. So that's positive side of thinking. Obviously, with these uncertainties, people are not really putting a lot of money into riskier assets. So that's why you see gold prices keep going up. So that's for Secret for today, and see you in the next